Hey, good morning. January 1st, 2024. 2023 is in the history books. Brand new year. Continuing my series of videos. Best baseball player each individual year from 1871 through 2023. Can't do 2024 because the baseball season hasn't started. So I finish this marathon session I'm on with the year 2023. But this video will look at the best baseball player for the year 1965. Who wins it? Guess who's back? Willie Mays wins it. Say hey, Willie Mays. Won 4 categories in 1965. Where did he win? Home runs, 52. How about that? Second time he's hit 50 or more homers. 1955, he hit 51. Slugging, 645. On base, 398. And total bases, 360. 4 categories, Willie Mays, and his second win. Remember, he won 1955. So this is the second time he's won. Aaron won 4 times. Willie Mays, number 2. 1965, Roberto Clemente had the batting title. Pete Rose had the most hits. Johnny Callison, most triples. Carl Yastrzemski, Zolo Versalles had the most doubles. Maury Wills, the most singles. Darren Johnson, most runs batted in. Joe Morgan, walks, and Maury Wills, the stolen bases. So those are the 13 categories. Willie Mays wins 4 of them. Let's look at his year. 1965. 34 years old. Remember, he started 1948 as a 17-year-old down in the Negro Leagues. Got going with the New York Giants in 1951 as a 20-year-old. Here he is 14 years later, and he wins Best Baseball Player of the Year. With 157 games, playing for the San Francisco Giants. 558 at-bats, 118 runs scored, 177 hits. He was not a 200-hit guy. He only had 1 200-hit season. Willie Mays, did you know that? Just 1. Pete Rose had 10. So, 52 home runs, that leads the league, 112 RBI. Now, that was low. You would think a guy who hits 50 homers would probably have 130, 140, maybe 150 RBIs. 112. 317 average. He leads the league in on base, 398, and slugging, 645, and total bases, 360. So a superb year for Willie Mays. But like I mentioned, only his second win. Remember, he came up 1951, plays through the 50s. But who wins during that time? You got Ted Williams and Stan Musial and Henry Aaron, Roberto Clemente, Ernie Banks. Some of these guys are coming up. So Willie doesn't get Best Baseball Player of the Year because these other guys are having good years too. Remember, Willie Mays is not high in career average. It was 301 for his career. He played 23 years, 10,900 at bats, 301. I would have liked to have seen Willie Mays have a higher career batting average. Now, we know his home run total, 660, is excellent, and that outpaces a lot of guys. In fact, almost every guy except about 3 or 4, right? Ruth, Aaron, Who else? Well, you got Albert Pujols now has more, and then Alex Rodriguez has more. Well, I believe Willie Mays is about number 5, right? You got Ruth? No, you got Bonds. Forgot about Bonds. Bonds 1, Ruth 2, Aaron 3. Pujols 4, Rodriguez 5, as far as career total home runs. And then number 6 is Willie Mays. 660. So he's a home run slugger, had good RBI numbers, 1,909 for his career. Had 3,293 hits. I like that. See, him, Rodriguez, Pujols, and Aaron. 3,000 hit club and slugging a lot of home runs. Ruth did not get to the 3,000 hits. Neither did Bonds. So I like Willie Mays in the career hits, home runs, and RBIs. And runs scored. 2,000 runs scored. The one point on Willie Mays is the 301 career. And so that could explain why his batting average. He had some good years. He had a 345, had a 347. But he also had below 200 batting seasons. Below 300 batting seasons. He had a 296, 288, 263, 291, 271, 250. See, that hurt him for his career batting average. 301. Now, him and Aaron, same scenario with Aaron. Slugging, RBIs, runs scored. But Aaron, 305 career. In fact, I matched them up. I matched up Aaron and Mays in this book I wrote. Baseball's all-time player matchups, 800 pages. I took a lot of scenarios and I just matched up players to see who was a better player. Here's the question. Who do you think was a better player? Henry Aaron or Willie Mays? I matched them up. Now, during this period of the 50s and 60s and into the 70s, Henry Aaron has won 4 times best baseball player for a certain year. Willie Mays only 2. Is Aaron better than Mays? I looked it up, the stats. Henry Aaron played 306 more games than Willie Mays. So very close in total games played. Aaron also had about 2,000 more hit at bats. Willie Mays, Aaron had 12,364 at bats. Willie Mays had 10,924. So we can say 1,500, roughly, more at bats for Willie Mays. Here's what I did with the matchup. I said, suppose they had the same number of bats, same number of games played. Let's look at the stats. Career average, we have to assume Aaron has a 305 career and Willie Mays 301. I'm going to say that Aaron wins that one. He beat him by a couple points at average, but they're both the same, roughly at average. But Aaron wins it slightly. Runs scored. Aaron had 2,174. Mays, 2,062. That's a difference of about 112. But Aaron had more games and more at-bats. If Mays plays the same number of games and has the same at-bats as Aaron, he would have been at a better pace scoring runs. I'm going to give that one to Mays because he probably could have had about 2,200 runs scored if he played those extra 306 more games. Because he had a better run scored per game average than Aaron. So it's 1-1. Aaron in the batting average, Mays in the runs scored. How about in runs batted in? Aaron had the 2,297. Mays had 1,903. That's a difference of about 300. According to the average of runs batted in per game that Aaron and Mays, both of them, if you look at their totals and do the average, Aaron wins it slightly. 2-1 Aaron. Home runs. This is interesting. Aaron had 755. Mays had 660. If Mays has those extra 300 games, does he hit? No, if Mays has 300 more games, does he hit or does he match Aaron's 755 or surpass him? I looked up the ratio of home runs per game played. Aaron still is on top. Mays may have ended up with about, in 300 games, let's say he did 40 a game. 40 per season. They play 150 in a season, right? Say he averaged 150 games and he hits 40 homers because it's late in his career. So 150 games, multiply it by 2 would be 300 more games for Mays, right? So that would be 80 more home runs. 80 and the 660 would have given Mays about 740. Aaron has 755. I'm going to give it to Aaron as far as the home runs. Slightly again. It's 3-1 Aaron. Triples. Aaron had 98. Mays 140. So Mays wins that. 3-2 Aaron. Doubles. Aaron had 624. Mays had 523. Give it to Aaron. 4-2 Aaron. Singles. Aaron had 2,294. Mays had 1,960. Give it to Aaron. 5-2 Aaron. Total bases. This is close. Aaron had 6,856. Mays had 6,060. That's about 800 bases total difference. If Mays plays 300 more games, he falls short. Doesn't catch Aaron in total bases. It's 6-2 Aaron as far as matchup. Slugging. Aaron 555 career. Mays 557. Mays gets it. 6-3 Aaron. On base. Aaron 374. Mays 384. Give it to Mays. 6-4 Aaron in matchup. Base on balls. This is interesting. Aaron had 1,402. Mays 1,464. Give it to Mays. It's 6-5 Aaron. 6. Stolen bases. Aaron had 240. Mays had 338. Give it to Mays. Guess what? 6-6 matchup. Who's better? 100 RBI seasons. Both of them had 10. So it's a tie. 10 100 RBI seasons. 100 runs scored seasons. Aaron had 15. Mays 12. Give it to Aaron. 7-6 Aaron. How about runs scored the highest run scored in a season? Who had a better one? Aaron had 127. 127 was his high. Mays, 130 was his high. Give it to Mays. It's 7-7 matchup. Highest batting average in a season. The highest for Aaron was 355 one year. The highest for Mays, 347. Aaron, 8-7. Most hits in a season. The highest for Aaron he had was 223. The highest for Mays, 208. It's 9-7, Aaron. 200 hit seasons. Aaron had 3. Mays only had 1. It's 10-7. Aaron. Total career hits. Aaron had 3,771. Mays had 3,293. But if you add 300 more games for Mays, would he catch Aaron? No. According to what they were averaging per hits per game, Mays would have ended up with 3,626, with an extra 300 games. He still falls short of Aaron at 3,771. Following? Let's look at the matchups. Aaron won the career average, runs batted in, home runs, doubles, singles, total bases, that's 6. 100 runs scored seasons, 7. Highest average in a season, 8. Most hits in a season, 9. 200 hit seasons, 10. And total career hits, 11. 11 categories for Aaron. Mays would have won the runs scored, 1. Triples, 2. Slugging, 3. On base, 4. Base on balls, 5. Stolen bases, 6. Most runs scored in the season, 7. And most RBIs in a season, 8. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11-8. Henry Aaron matching up with Willie Mays slightly is a better player. Mays gets it on defense, I think. Good center fielder. Aaron played right field. I think that could explain why Willie Mays only had 2 so far best baseball player in a season awards. Aaron has 4. And in the matchups, Aaron would win 11 categories and Mays would win 8 of them. I think that's good. If you get into the numbers and you analyze, that's what I've been doing on my videos. If you analyze baseball players, you got to go deeper. You can't just look on the surface. Now, you would say that maybe Mays a better base stealer, better defense. But if you look at the overall numbers, they're both playing in the same era, roughly. And they both have about 3,000 games played. Aaron had about 300 more. He had more at-bats. But if you look at the ratio of what they were doing per game played, you can look at it. Look at the career total and look at how many games. Do the division, divide it, and you get the ratio. If you have 3,293 hits, like Mays did, and he has 3,000 games played, you divide those numbers and you get the ratio of hits per game. Obviously, if you have more hits than games played, then you're averaging more than 1 hit per game. Aaron has, 3,200 games, right? He ends up with 3,700 hits, generally speaking. So he's averaging about 1.25 hits per game. Mays, 3,293 hits, and he has 3,000 games. So he's averaging about 17 or 18 hits per game. See, that's how you look at it. And you do that in all the categories. Runs scored. How many runs did he score in his career per games played? You get the average by dividing it. Is it 1 run per game or is it less than 1 run per game? Billy Hamilton, who was in the Hall of Fame back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, he averaged more than a run scored per game played. Did you know that? I think he played about 1,400 games, and he scored over 1,600 runs, or whatever the official number was. He was one of the players in my baseball matchups. Runs scored. In fact, I'll give it to you. I have it in this book here. You want to hear an interesting stat? It blew me away. You know who is the only player? I think there's two of them. George Gore was the other one. Who is the only player to average more than 1 run scored per game played in his career? Billy Hamilton. And George Gore. I've got it in here in chapter 17. I'll go right to it right now. 422. Billy Hamilton averaged 1.06 runs scored per game played. Listen to this. It's incredible. Billy Hamilton played 1,594 games, and he scored 1,697 runs. More than 1 run scored per game. And the other guy, I believe, was George Gore, had more than a run scored per game played. That's an incredible stat. I think we have covered 1965. Let's see, where are we? Willie Mays wins it by winning 4 categories. It's the second win, best baseball player in an individual year. Okay. That covers 65. Next video will be 66. January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year. We're going to continue this marathon. Our goal is the year 2023. We're going to do each individual year. I'm at 1965. Next video, 1966. And each year until 2023. And guess what happens after that? Pitching. I'm going to go back to 1871. I'm going to go year by year by year to see who is the best pitcher. It's going to winning categories. And I'm going to go all the way to 2023 there. So we're just getting started on these videos. And my YouTube channel, let's see here. Can you believe it? 783 videos on my YouTube channel. This video right here will be number 784. And my goal is to get up to 1,000 YouTube videos just talking baseball. Can you believe how many categories and subjects and angles and perspectives you can do covering the game of baseball? And I'm covering the players. I'm not even covering teams. I'm not even covering World Series. I did a little bit of the World Series, but I'm mainly focusing on Hall of Fame players and other significant players throughout the 155-year history, 150 plus years of history of baseball. Starting in the 1870s, the National League got going. And then in the 1900s, the American League got going. And here we are, 150 plus years later, covering all these guys, looking at all the accomplishments, all the records, all the achievements. That's what I've been doing in my videos. It's just a hobby. I'm retired. Just talking baseball. And learning who was the best, who made significant contributions, who was a stellar player, who matched up with other players, who was better. Rankings, I've been doing that. 1965's in the book. Next video, 1966. Who wins it? Stay tuned. Ken Arzone, Vista, California. I'm out.